Hi there, Robin here from Expert On, and today we're going to talk about the differences between buying a traditional PA speaker and buying ourselves a line array. So today on the floor we have the JBL EON 1, and beside it we have the JBL 615. Now this could have also have been the 612, but I wouldn't necessarily have put, let's say, the 610, a 10-inch speaker or an 8-inch speaker to go comparisons. This is pretty much, we're going to an extreme difference between these two products. Now, for the price point, you can buy one of these guys, which would be equal to buying two of these guys. So there is more of an investment being spent on the actual line array style speakers today than there is on buying traditional PA speakers. But there's a huge market difference between people who want to buy this or should buy this versus people who want to buy this and people who should buy this. So that's what today's video is going to be all about. So what I'm going to also do is let you know that we're not going to do full-on sound test because I actually have a sound test video for this already. We're going to put links to our JBL videos at the end, which are going to cover both the line array and all the EON speakers in the family, which includes the subwoofer, the 612, and the 615. Now, that being said, this is real important. You probably can't make a good, proper buying decision unless you've already bought in speakers before and you basically have a good plan on where you're going to, because today you have to take this into consideration regardless what you actually do. You want to know, is a line array the right way to go in the future? I think ultimately that is the future of products, are line arrays, but right now they pretty much fill half of the market. Not everybody should be buying this, but at the same time everybody who's been buying this sometimes might be preferred to have bought one of these. And the reason is how you're going to be playing your music, how you're going to be reinforcing that sound, and why do you need to buy a speaker in the first place. So if we take it to a simple level, if I'm trying to get sound in a space, be it small or large, and I need to play it anywhere between background level for talking all the way up to, let's say, 80 dB, 2 to 3 times louder than people are talking, I can do that with a line array. Now, when do I not want to use a line array? Of course, the obvious is I want to play it louder than 80 dB. So if I'm at a wedding and I'm going to have 50 plus people on a dance floor and I'm going to have 150 plus in the actual room, you're going to need to get yourself into a PA speaker. These guys are great for sound reinforcement when you have either a small group of people in a small venue, or you're being asked to fill a large space with a low level of volume. So to make you sound better, you would get a line array. So if it's just you singing with somebody else on an instrument or vice versa, and you just want to have that level of sound that people normally right clustered around you, those 12 people that are in front of you here, but you want to have that carry into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 square feet of space without deafening the people right in front of you, that's where a line array comes in better, because it's going to take that sound and it's going to project it like a big fan across a large space without deafening people in the front. So this way it sounds good anywhere you are. Now this is normally, think about spaces like a school gymnasium. For example, if people come in to do a show or a play, we certainly don't need that volume level to be extremely high. We need it to be smooth and constant throughout the entire space. Let's take the other end. We're in a small space like a pub or a bar. There's 100, 200 people in the space, but it's a tight, closed-in space. I want to have that sound really good in front of me, but I also want to have everybody enjoy that. Now, usually the space is much smaller and there's lots of people. I can pull that off with a line array. Now, if I'm a band or I'm a DJ and I'm going into these same type of venues, there's an expectation that your volume level is going to be 2 to 3 times louder than that. You're there for, to excite and entertain people. You're going to need something bigger. You're going to need speakers in the 12 to 15 inch. That also means you're going to probably need a subwoofer as well, but that's an add-on. That's just to make everything better. So let's take a quick moment to actually talk about why you can't always use a line array where you're using a speaker. There's a couple of good examples. I've made reference to it a lot. Loud. You need to be loud. You need the speaker to be loud enough to carry in a large space. Now, let's take an actual big school gymnasium sort of thing. If I'm doing a rally be it a political rally, a fundraiser rally, anytime I'm trying to get the crowd going. So I'm going to get the crowd at 80, 90 dBs. They're going to be making all the noise. I need to have enough volume here, enough power on stage to be above that. So I need to be able to reinforce that sound above their level of well, cheering and talking and doing all kinds of stuff from the crowd to me, and I'm trying to get back on top of them. So I've pumped them up. Now I got to get control of that. You're going to need speakers like this that carry large volume of sound forward. Now you may need, of course, we're only showing one, you may need 4, 6, 8 speakers, but that's because we need to bring our sound above theirs. Now, if I'm a DJ in that same space, I need to have that sound carry because I'm trying to entertain. I've got a whole bunch of people there that want to be, entertained, and you've got to get it to a level of 80, 90 dBs across that whole space or higher. You're going to need to have all those drivers up to do that. Now, that's a big thing. This 15-inch driver generates a lot of energy to get, mid-bass, bass across that space and have people get really excited by it. This is going to do a really good job at getting, upper mid-bass, mostly mids, mostly highs across a large space. Now, the subwoofer down here, which they call a bass module in this case, Bose also calls it a bass module. I think everybody does. We think it's a subwoofer, but it's actually a bass module. So it's generating all that low frequency, all that, but it's also responsible all the way up to mid bass. Now, if you notice, this guy is just well above my knee height. So this is going to get drowned out and absorbed by everybody nearby. So if you're in a really big concert, for every 3 subwoofers hanging from the ceiling, there's usually 2 or 3 subwoofers on the floor as well. And it's because those subwoofers up high are filling in everybody else in the middle and in the back. The subs on the floor are actually there to help fill in the front. So if I only have this for my bottom end filling the people in the front, it's not going to carry across the room to the back or across the auditorium or stadium into the back. So we need to have our drivers up high. So there you go. That's the main reason why you can't always take this, even though dB level in an open space can be the same. Once you fill it with people, it's going to change. And you have to understand that where it's going, how people are going to be using it, how your audience is going to be reacting to the sound. If I'm putting on a play, they're going to be dead silent. If I'm going to a rally, they're going to be loud, and I have to make that choice. If I was just going out for a play or a service, something like that, this would do the job in that space. If I put 2 of these and 500 people in front of it and it's dead silence. If I have those same 500 people and I'm at a rally, this is never going to cut it. I'm never going to be able to talk above them. This is going to carry that space, and fill that space with the right amount of volume on top of everybody that's there. So that's another one of those things you have to decide, how are you using it to make that right choice. So that's a big thing. So remember, all the bass at the bottom, which is going to be great for a smaller space or an open space where people are pretty much quiet. Going back to my grocery store that I go to, it just happens to be the one near my house. This sub or bass module will fill the whole store because, well, it's pretty much all made out of steel racks and, a nice food court and that kind of stuff. But the people are spread amongst this large open space. So just like a car driving by your house and you can hear the bass coming from the car, you're going to hear the bass coming from this driver because the ambient sound around us is very low. So there you go. That's pretty much what you're looking at. Now, simplicity, the reason why these are getting to be so popular versus these guys is these guys can weigh anywhere between 45 to 75 pounds. You got to put that on a stand. A lot of people don't want to. It's just, you get tired of doing it all the time. It gets heavy. A lot of times the people that are doing the setups and teardowns are volunteers, or you have to do it after you've just worked a show for like 8 hours from start to end. If it's not a show that requires all that extra weight, that's a good reason to get a line array. A lot easier to tear down. I mean, simple. You just pull it off, disassemble it, pocket everything there, and off you go. You're usually looking at 5 to 10 pounds plus for these guys up here, and then you got another 20, 30 pounds for the main unit. Simple. So again, it's not what's going to be the easiest take and go with you, but if you're just a one-man show, one person going out doing a job, and you're going to a cafe or you're going to a pub, or maybe, you know, if you live in a place like I do where, you know, the grocery stores have people come out on the weekends and in their private food court play music, that's what you're looking for, is a line array. Now, there's other advantages to today's line array, and that has to do with built-in mixers. You don't have to bring yourself a separate mixer. You can certainly make do with what's on board. A lot of them incorporate Bluetooth as a standard feature on their units now. A lot of them have at least minimum 2 mic inputs on them, and a lot of them have reverb on it, so you can add that effect in as well. So there's a lot built into it, making it a lot simpler. When you get into the bigger speakers, when the standalone speaker, you're responsible. Either you have to bring a controller or a mixer to get the job done, and that's another piece of equipment you have to set up besides the speaker. So if you need the size and the volume, absolutely, you are still going to be buying yourself a speaker. Now, you are going to have to decide how big of a speaker, but that's for another video, right? So it's just the comparisons. At the same time, brands are very generous right now with features on their products. The price points are still somewhat high. There are great brands out there that are doing incredible amount of competition at better price points. So usually if you're looking between a $400 to $600 price range, sound levels can be very comparable as long as you know that they are in the same power range. A lot of times it comes down to features. Overall craftsmanship and quality tends to be very good even at entry-level price points. So when you get to the higher end level of the products, when it comes to sound reinforcement, well, of course, the JBL EON does a really good job. Electro-voice is probably above that, but again, you're going to add more money to that price tag. And you're looking at Bose. They have a variety of products that can be assembled in different ways to create a kit, because, I mean, traditionally that's what that company's done for, let's say, the last 30 years with what they call their Acoustimass series speakers. They've just kind of turned it into a line array, which is a great way of putting their product back together. So outside of that, if I was to look at and say, well, what can we do better down the road? Having a product that's this convenient but perform this well, we're almost there. I mean, some companies like Avante showed it on their website. I can't find it online. I can't see where you can buy it right now, but I should ask Avante that question. They have a larger module system, larger drivers that you can put up, which are going to give you better sound reinforcement for a DJ, let's say. That's probably the next generation of products we're going to see. I'm not a super fan when you see a line array that has a pole on top of a subwoofer with, you know, 3 arrays that, you know, look like they come out of a concert tour on top of it. Seems to me like an awful lot of work, and it's kind of defeating the purpose of what this product should be doing for you. So I'm not saying it's a bad product or a bad choice. I'm just saying I don't think that's probably the future of where these products are probably going to go. There's always going to be a place for that, I guess, but personally, I've chosen for our products in our showroom to be easy, simple. If I can't tear it down, put it away, or put it back together again in 60 seconds, well, it kind of defeated the purpose of getting that product in the first place, probably. So that's it. That's the fundamental differences between the two. Now remember, small places with an enormous amount of volume that you need. So you've got 200 people and you're expected to be at 90 to 100 dB. So the max that I think anybody should really be playing out there anymore. You are going to need to have those 12s and 15s. If you're being asked to just be background, or you're being asked to play just above talking level, if you need speakers that are easily set up and torn down for services, special events, corporates, this is a really good way to get that whole thing done. So again, good reason to buy it. If you already have a lot of speakers like this and you're thinking, well, I want to buy something new, and you haven't bought yourself a line array, you definitely want to go out and take a look at a line array. So that pretty much wraps up what we're talking about here. We're going to take a closer look before we're done. We'll have a look-see at the back side of them and see what I mean by needing more equipment to make it work. if you go take a look at our actual JBL EON video, you'll see I cover this in a lot more detail, but I do want to cover the idea of everything's built in, ready to go. So when you look at this module here, you're going to find yourself with, well, in their case, a 6-channel system and the ability to come out of it and plug into something else as well. Built for convenience, built for ease of use. Now, again, if you're 2 people going out singing, maybe you do have a keyboard or some instruments, you can do that and not have to bring any extra equipment. That's the concept. That's why you're spending the extra premium money on a product like this. Now, again, I'm not promoting this one brand. This can be anything from, you know, one of our most popular ones, which comes from Gemini. We'll put a link to all our line array options that we have so far, and you'll have an idea of what that looks like, all the way up to this guy here. But it's all about convenience and ease of use. So if we now take a look at the back of the 615, we'll see the differences. So if we look at the back of the EON 615, we're going to notice a couple of things that are different. One, we don't have things like, you know, straight up knobs that are going to give me bass and treble control. We don't have any reverb options. They bury the mic line button so this way you can't accidentally push it, because this is designed to be on a much more commercial, larger scale level. Now they do allow you to have it set up for different formats, because of course this being an actual, you know, PA speaker, I can use it either as a main, a monitor. I can make a straight up choice that I'm going to have a subwoofer underneath it, or I need it for speech only. So they do give you those as simple, straight up forward. Now this being a JBL EON, it does have the app that comes included, so there's a bunch of extras, but that's going to vary from brand to brand. This is traditionally what we're going to see. A variation of this where we have 1 or 2 line inputs on the back, some way to switch it between mic and line. Like here they actually give it a physical inset dropped in button, so this way I have to use a pen or something to make that work. The idea here is maybe I'm going to have 2, 4, 6, 8 speakers, who knows. They do give me a pass-through, so this way I can come off my mixing board into this channel here, or both, and then I can link another second or third speaker onto this, right off of here. That's the idea when you're buying a product like this. Maybe you're throwing subs underneath it, maybe you're just adding more equipment straight to it, but it's part of a package of equipment that you're going to be taking out with you, be it a controller or a mixer or anything like that. That's really the big differences. So again, I hope this helps you in narrowing down your choices of products. So not just between what brand or how much power you need, but what style of speaker you're probably going to need. If you got any questions or comments, you're always welcome to leave them down below. That is for sure, for sure. We always look at things, regardless if it's, you know, a product that you think we should be looking at, or, you know, questions or comments that I missed in the actual video, by all means put them down. If you've bought anything that you liked, you're more than welcome to leave it down below. Let us know what you bought, but also let us know how you use it. So just telling me that, you know, oh, the Bose is the best, doesn't really help anybody. If you say the Bose is the best because, that would be good, because then, you know, you're helping somebody else with why that particular product is working really well for you. So there you go. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to know when our next video is coming out, which is always helpful because we're always doing different ones, and if there's something special you're looking for or looking forward to, that's how you're going to find out. You hit that little bell button. It just, you know, on your phone, hey, look, Expert On, new video. At least that's what I figured out. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So even though this video wasn't a comparison of 2 products for sound testing purposes, because we're really looking at our catalog of videos that we already have, we are going to have coming out soon, so probably by the time you watch this, we may or may not have done this already, we are going to be having comparisons between some of the models that we have now. So bang for the buck, purchase price wise, you know, value added, performance, who should be buying a machine like this and enjoying this, because we sell lots of them, versus the EON 1 and versus the Avantes, which are new. So we've got something that a lot of people are buying because of the price point and it fits exactly what they're looking for, versus, you know, something more robust, something a little bit louder with more durability maybe, if other people are going to be using it, or it's going to be kicking around the back of a car a lot, versus Avante, which is a very nice, attractive product, easy to use. We're going to be doing those, so if they're not there already, look for them. They're going to be coming soon.